get to the analysis of this weekend's box office results. So in first for the fourth week running, we have Barbie with 33.7 million. And in number 2, as always, is Oppenheimer with 18.8 million. Then in third, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem with 15.75 million. The Meg 2, The Trench with 12.7 million. And Dracula, The Last Voyage of the Dementor with 6.5 million.
Demeter.
Oh, did I say Dementor?
He hates this movie that much that he's just not even going to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah. So that got 6.5 million. So, James, what are your big takeaways from these top 5 results?
It's just the same old, I guess. You know, Barbenheimer just continues to plow through the movie industry, and we're going to keep hearing about the Barbenheimer phenomenon all the way through to Oscar season, I believe. So, yeah, it's pretty much just like that. Just, Oppenheimer, how it holds so well, it's not a surprise because everyone's loving it, and it has the benefit of being in premium large format cinemas. But it's fallen by over 40% once, and that was after its first weekend. Otherwise, it's just always fallen around the 35-36% mark. So it's sitting around 264 total now. I see that movie going to around 330. I think it's competition with the Joker, which is also an R-rated movie, is going to be quite interesting to see which one finishes on top. I think Joker was around 277 by this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they are quite close. I think Oppenheimer's holding on a little bit better. If Oppenheimer can beat Joker, I think that's just incredible. Remember, Joker had all the awards buzz. It had it's based on a very popular DC character. It's not 3 hours, and there are action scenes of sorts.
And it had $1 billion as well.
Yeah, it had $1 billion. It doesn't have a competition worldwide. Joker will take the lead there. Oppenheimer will get around 900 million in total worldwide, which is still very insane. And that would be the second highest R-rated film of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deadpool 2 is second at 785. And with Oppenheimer at 650 now, it's going to be that. It's going to be second of all time on the R-rated side of things. Barbie 1.18 billion now. Its path to Mario is I'm still not going to say it's definitive, but it's very likely that it will beat it. It really just depends on if it slows down with a Blue Beetle and Gran Turismo and all these consecutive releases start to take a bit of a hit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we could see it go down. But again, I don't see that changing. You're looking around a total of 1.4 to 1.45 billion. Mutant Ninja Turtles, yeah, it fell around where I thought it would be. Well received. But yeah, it's sitting okay. I don't know on the worldwide side of things. It's not doing too great. It's not released in all markets yet. It only has 21 million there, so hopefully it can get enough to really that break even point and make some good money for the studio.
Yeah,
Meg 2 had a better drop than I figured. I thought it was going to fall around 60 to 65, 57.7%, which is it's a pretty respectable hold for a movie like this. It feels very Meg 2 feels like a Fast and Furious type movie.
it does.
Anyone that wants to see Meg 2 will see it opening weekend. No one's going to go to it on the second weekend and be like, "Oh, this would be like fun."
Yeah.
But perhaps I could be wrong here. But yeah, had a decent drop for the kind of movie that it is. Yeah, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Yeah, this one is the tough one. It bombed completely. I think the budget's around 45 million. I first read 100 million, and that's when I was telling you. And then I looked at it recently when these numbers started to come out, and it's like 45 million. And it's still not going to hit nowhere near its break-even point.
Do you know who the studio is?
Studio Canal for us. Universal Pictures for the wider distribution in the US. Right. So yeah, it's pretty. It's not a good one for them. Talk to me though. That's one that needs to be discussed. 5.1 million on its third weekend, dropped 19%. It's at 31 million now, and for a A24 movie, I think it's like fourth. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once, Hereditary, Uncut Gems. Maybe another one is the highest grossing for A24 with everything everywhere all at once being the first at like 70 million. So for Talk to Me to get this, and we're going to talk about more Talk to Me stuff soon. It's a very, very good result. Otherwise, yeah, Elemental seems to have finally taken the hit, at least on the domestic side of things. It didn't earn $1 million this weekend, but it hit the 150 mark. So from a 30 million opening to a 150, it's just insane legs. Yeah. I think that's 6 times its opening weekend.
Broken even now, right?
Yeah, it's at 443. I heard that the Pixar president said that the opening was very concerning to them, and then they saw that it legged it out to a point where it's making profit, and it's kind of made them relieve. And I think they're happy about it due to the wider Disney's doing very poorly. So to see a well-received Pixar movie legging it out and people keep showing up, I think it's the message that the audiences respect the quality of the film has been heard. So yeah, what are you thinking about the box office this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much thought Barbie and Oppenheimer would take the first 2 spots. I didn't realize Ninja Turtles would drop that. I thought Ninja Turtles would drop a lot more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think it was like, 30 to 40-ish%?
43, 44? Yeah.
43, which is pretty good for like a animated film.
Yeah.
Meg 2, I was expecting it to drop a lot. I was expecting it to be out of the top 5 in general.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Because after that poor opening and then, just negative reviews from that and whatnot.
Yeah, and even negative word of mouth.
Yeah. Sorry, before this podcast, me and James had like we were discussing our little quotes that we discuss all the time, and he pointed out whatnot to me, and I just started laughing as soon as I said it.
Yeah. If you guys are listening, get out some drinks right now. Take a shot whenever Nayan says whatnot, and just let us know if you make it to the end of this podcast or whether you pass out beforehand.
Yeah, or let's not just put it on me. If you want to double down, you can attack James as well, and every time he says, boom, shot right there.
Yeah. But that one's for very advanced drinkers. Do not do that unless you're very experienced at the game.
Exactly. But yeah, no, these box office results is pretty much stock standard. The thing will start to get interesting now with like Blue Beetle coming on Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
We really get to see how Barbenheimer does with proper competition. So yeah, I think the next couple of weeks is going to be interesting.
What are you thinking for next weekend with Blue Beetle releasing?
As in how much I think it'll make?
Yeah, just give a general idea on opening weekend.
I would say between 30 to 40.
30 to 40.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big prediction.
It is.
Yeah, I would say I think it's going to be around 24 to 27. I think the pre-sale tracking is quite low for it, and the good reactions that we saw haven't really boasted anything greater than or signaled that it's going to continue to increase or what. I was about to say what, not myself.
You're allowed to. It's fine.
Yeah, so it could be interesting. But I sent a tweet out today because I still think 24 could be on the high end of the predictions. And I'm like, what if Barbie beats Blue Beetle in its 5th weekend and Blue Beetle comes second on its opening weekend?
I think that's still a win-win for Warner Brothers because, they're taking out the top 2 spots.
That's true, but if Blue Beetle opening below Barbie's 5th weekend will say a lot. It would be very interesting. I don't think it'll happen, but
to be fair,
there's a possibility.
Blue Beetle's a very low-end sort of comic book, tier-wise comic book character. He's like C to B-ish tier.
I mean, still not a justification for that. When you have a DC brand on it and you're marketed as first DCU character and it's a superhero movie in this day and age, you're expected to open at above 30 million no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I guess DCU really did a number on the DC brand.
Yes. We'll get to that soon as well.
We're getting to that next.